It has been quite a long while since I've been able to address the community surrounding this channel. And it's been quite some time since I've spoken to you guys. That changes today because of a few issues that have come to my attention over the past couple of weeks. To avoid getting into too much detail, I'll be quite direct. My channel has come under the attack of robots controlled by Susan Wojcicki, YouTube CEO. And as such, I've been forced to take actions that I would have much preferred not to have taken, which is protecting a good portion of my content by simply removing it. Some of my more risque videos, some of the videos that tend to walk the line, so to speak, have been transitioned away from YouTube because of the fact that it is no longer viable to maintain them. More broadly, because of how censorious YouTube has become and how bad their policies are becoming, it has put a damper, if you will, on some aspects of my plans for this channel. However, the solution is really one that many YouTubers have adopted, including myself to some extent, which is platform agnosticism. For example, if you look to history, back in 2017, Iron Mouse adopted a platform agnostic philosophy where she used Twitch, YouTube, and plenty of other platforms to more or less put one's eggs in many different baskets. To a certain extent, I've adopted platform agnosticism on a personal level. I actually do have a Bitchute account, but it hasn't been properly invested into. Now more than ever, it's very clear to me that these alternative tech sites have a utility, they have a place, and they fill a niche. And that niche is to act as sort of the transition away from places like YouTube towards places like Bitchute, since Bitchute is nowhere near as censorious as YouTube is at present. Of course, the fact remains YouTube is a massive, massive platform, and it completely eclipses places like Bitchute. However, progressively it is the case that much more of the risque content, much more of the borderline content will ultimately end up on places like Bitchute, and there's a good portion of some of my historic content, and also potentially some of my future content, that will find its way onto Bitchute. So, to sum all of that up, anything that is questionable will find its way to Bitchute. If you want to experience the full value that my channel has to offer, you've got to go to places like Bitchute. And this will apply, frankly, to almost all content producers, and you can see this very clearly even with people like Six Hexenhammer, Turtling Monkey, so on and so forth. YouTube is big, it is a driver of traffic, but it is not where all of my content is going to be in the future. That is unavoidable. It is the reality of how things are working. Fact of the matter is, to anyone who's been paying attention, platform agnosticism has been a philosophy that has been on the horizon for a great many years now. And it was always a matter of when, not if, thanks to the fatal and fundamentally catastrophic mistakes YouTube has made. But on another more positive and more compelling issue, there is the topic, of course, of content. Now, to some of you, you may be aware of the fact that this YouTube channel was, for the most part, a fairly low-effort channel, and it was, if I'm being entirely honest, an experiment. It was to determine the viability of content production as something that I could perhaps pursue to serve the community at large. Over the past couple of years, I have, of course, experimented with different kinds of content, releasing, for example, music remixes, and with a splish splash of reviews and, of course, a few technical videos. Having considered the facts and looked very carefully at what's been going on, and also taking inspiration from a great many famous and quite talented YouTubers and content producers such as Iron Mouse, Kson, or Coco, people of that description, I have discovered that there is, honestly, a fairly good opportunity here with this channel. Of course, taking into account platform agnosticism, there is an ability on this channel to make technical videos as my channel has transitioned towards that content, and to really build upon that foundation. So, in the coming months, I will be directing some of my energies, when the time allows, towards creating content that is centered around technical matters, around video games, around reviews, around things, around computers, around electronics. Things of that description will become the focus of this channel. The music side of things has fallen out of favor if anyone bothers to take a look at my analytics, and this is a sustainable path towards it. Not to mention as well, there is plenty of leeway and opportunity to innovate on technical content in a way that there doesn't really exist with the content I used to produce in the past. While, of course, bad news is that YouTube is not really a sustainable platform, it is very censorious and very limiting, there is a way to break through those limitations, and I think in general there's a way to grow this network and to grow this little community surrounding this channel of mine. So I'll leave it as that. More's to come, and of course, I'd suggest you go look at my BitchUte channel, which I'll of course put in the description. And wait patiently, and we should have some content up shortly. That's all, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, and goodbye.